Well, welcome, you guys. We are glad you're here this morning. I'm really excited about this topic because this is something that can have a huge impact on anybody's business, let alone real estate agents. But here you can see the title. Here it is, Maxing Google My Business for Agents in 2020. So my first question, and I would ask you all to answer in the chat box if you would real quickly, is have you claimed your Google My Business space on Google? If you could let me know, yes. Okay, Brenda,
No,
nice,
I'm
good.
I'm in the middle of it.
Good. Okay. All right.
This is Marie.
Yep. Good. Okay. So good. So that's the first step, you guys. So what we're going to talk about is actually how to get. This is going to be a little bit deeper dive into Google My Business, what the value of it is, how you can get these things done, and some of the tools that are actually available in there. So anyway, here's what we're going to cover today, you guys. Is we're going to talk about why GMB, I'm just abbreviating it, why Google My Business is so important for real estate professionals. We're going to talk about the basics of how to set it up if you haven't. Okay, if you have, some of this is going to be, it's going to be simplified. You've already been in that space, but at the same time, there's also some pieces maybe you want to make sure you go back and revisit. Okay, to make sure you've got it done the way it needs to be. The next one is optimizing your Google My Business account. This is a really important part of it, you guys. And there's one of the things that I've discovered over the past couple of years now of that space is Google is putting an incredible amount of energy and time into that. And I'm just going to get off the topic for just a little bit to give you a history, and you guys can kind of, if you can picture in your mind what Google used to look like prior to 2016, I think is when they introduced it. 2015, when you would be on a desktop and open up Google, what you saw on the left-hand side was you'd see the map and you'd see the organic search results and maybe a couple ads at the top, but then on the right-hand side were all advertisement. Was all Google AdWords ads. Okay, so there were all an opportunity for them to sell that space. Well, what they've done is they've taken that away because they realized that the businesses weren't getting much from those pay-per-click ads that they had in that space. So they decided this big old white empty space, all of a sudden, they wanted to use it and give some value to it. And the best part about this, you guys, honestly, there may be some things that we are hesitant about Google as a company, and maybe we're a little gun shy about, some of the control they have, but they are a very purpose-driven brand, okay? And what I mean by that is that it would have been real easy for them to just maintain that advertising space and say, hey, it'll get some results, spend the money. But they didn't do that. They decided to utilize it and create this whole opportunity with Google My Business so that now when you do a search, especially if you're looking for something specific, okay, what happens is that then it's going to go ahead and it's going to show results for that specific search. So, and I'm going to show you some examples here in a real quick second, but we'll get into how that actually looks. But most of you understand what I'm saying when I say the Google My Business space on the right-hand side of a computer screen, which, by the way, on a phone shows up right in the middle of the phone, right? Smack dab when someone's searching for something, that's where it shows up. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about then with this optimizing your Google My Business account. We're going to talk about some of the features. There are things like setting appointments and posting. Okay, you can post on that space, you guys. You can put things up, take things down. You can post events. You can put your open houses. You can put a brand new listing. You can put all of these other things that you have in your marketing database, if you will, of content and information that is important to share with the audience of people that you've developed, okay, that you can have an opportunity to share good information on Google right there in that space. So, and the other thing we're going to get into is we're going to talk about Google reviews, which kind of silently has become the most powerful review site on the internet. So anyway, let's move on. This is me. You guys, hopefully everybody knows me. If you don't, let me introduce myself. My name is Dave Redabaugh. I'm your presenter today. I am also the internet marketing instructor for Cindy Bishop Worldwide. So the classes that Cindy has that are involved with internet marketing, those are the ones that I get the opportunity to cover and teach, whether it's a seminar or live performance. Basically those are the classes that I do. I do Facebook and video marketing. I do LinkedIn. I talk about Google. I talk about things that are related to how you show up on the internet. So that's really the main focus of what I bring to Cindy Bishop Worldwide Real Estate Training. So, okay, let's move on with this. Enough about me. So here's the thing that I wanted to pose to you is, did you know, and this is an interesting statistic, you guys, this is from an organization called ATTOM, ATTOM Data Solutions. They basically, you probably are more familiar with it than I was when I found this article, because it's specific to data and information about the real estate profession. Okay. But one of the things that they did, and this was in an article back in April of 2018, where they talked about where leads come from for real estate businesses. Okay. And here's what they discovered is that 75% of leads to real estate professionals are either from their own network, so that network of businesses, of people that you network, if you belong to networking groups, but those businesses that you tend to do business with all the time, the loan officers and the title companies and the contractors and all those other businesses that you're associated with, your network, or they are from referrals and repeat customers. Okay, so why would I even be bringing that up, you guys? I mean, it's like, okay, well, that's cool, Dave, but so what? Well, so what? Here's something that whenever I talk about Google My Business, you guys, I always bring this up, and it's a really important thing for us to recognize. If that is the case, and I absolutely have no reason to, say that ATTOM Data Solutions is giving us wrong information. 75% of your leads are from those sources. That means that when when that network of yours provides information to somebody who's a potential client for you, they provide a lead to you. Okay, so that lead, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to pick up their phone, right? And they're going to call you. No, they're not going to do that. Okay, what they're going to do is they're going to pick up their phone and they're going to put your name into a Google search, right? Okay, so that's the reason why this is so important. When they do that, that space that you now have, what they're seeing, that is the space that you need to maintain control of. That is the space you need to make sure that you've done everything you can to make that just banging. Make sure that it is, hot, and that it is telling the story the way it should, and that it's giving the information that you want people to know about who you are and the kind of service that you can deliver, right? Because those are your very best leads. And according to these guys, they're the greatest source of leads that you have. So why not take care of that space, you guys? Because again, most folks, you don't have to be a millennial to take that approach to things. There's people in their 60s and 70s, when they hear that a referral, whether it's a pizza place or a real estate agent, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to do a Google search for that place to see, do they have credibility? Should I trust the information that I just got from this person that referred them, right? Does that make sense? I think it does. If you want to go ahead and chat in the box and say, yes, Dave, that makes sense, please do, because this is kind of like preaching right now. But anyway, let me go ahead and get into this. So that is the first most important part about why you want to make sure that you claim that space if you haven't. Those of you that have, congratulations. We're going to talk about some ways that you can make it even better. Okay, so onward we go. So why Google My Business? We're going to get into a little bit more of this. Like I said, the first one we pretty much covered. Even word of mouth will start with a search on Google. The second part and the second reason for this, you guys, is that this is some of the best simple search engine optimization that you can do for your business. Okay, now, search engine optimization, a lot of us have heard that term, maybe don't understand it completely. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about what SEO is, but I will tell you this, that really simplified, what it means is how you show up on the internet. Okay, that's really what SEO is all about. It's optimizing how you are being found by search engines. It's making the search engines, giving the information to the search engines they need so that they're delivering the right message to those people that are searching for, whether they're looking for a term like buying a home near me, or they're looking for a term like, Cindy Bishop. Okay, they're looking for your name. So anyway, so that's what this SEO part is. And this Google space, you guys, this Google My Business space really is one of the things that you can do that will really impact a lot of what the search engines are looking for, especially Google, because guess what? It's their tool, it's their space. They own it. They're the ones that are developing it for us as business people. So, they want to make sure that it's banging and it's doing the job for you. So that's the thing. Again, even if you are an expert SEO and you know all that there is you need to know about doing search engine optimization, even those people understand the value of this space. Okay, so the next thing, Google is revolutionizing local real estate search. This is an article that I grabbed, you guys, and it was really powerful, from April 29, 2019, Inman News. Inman.com is where I found it. Okay, and they talk about this whole concept of how Google My Business really is revolutionizing not just local real estate search, but local search. Okay, that's really the whole design of it. The whole concept boils down to this, you guys. I talked about this earlier. Google is a purpose-driven brand. Well, what is their purpose? What is the thing that they want to accomplish with their business? And this is it, basically, to connect consumers to accurate, relevant information as quickly as possible. Pretty simple. And they've been doing it for how many years now? I mean, they've become the 900-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to search because of that fact. They've stayed focused on doing exactly that, connecting consumers to accurate, relevant information as quickly as possible. Okay, so recognizing that, you guys, here's the thing that Google has determined, and the reason they've invested so much into that Google My Business space is the fact that what they've determined is that a lot of relevant information, a lot of accurate information that us as consumers, what we're looking for is stuff that has to do with that's local, right? Doesn't that make sense? It really does, you guys. If that's what we're looking for, that's what they want to deliver to us. So that's why when you see things, a lot of times that the map becomes so important, if you're looking for, what's a good, Italian restaurant near me, you're out traveling or something like that, and you feel like Italian, you plug that in and Google's going to automatically say, okay, here's some places that are close to you, and here's some places that have good reviews, that have good content, that have good information, that's relevant and accurate to what you're looking for, right? So that's basically how this works. And that's what's happening with real estate businesses, you guys. Here's the thing that I would tell you. If you have not claimed that space, you need to do it. You need to do it today. Take the time, take the steps to make sure that you get it done. Because, and I will tell you this, and some of you maybe have found this when you first went in that space, is that you go in and you put your name in, and because the companies, the agencies that you work for, the brokers that you work for, Remax Executives, or Keller Williams Chantilly, or whoever it may be, they've already gone on top of this stuff. So it's not like you're fighting for that space for them, but you need to make sure that you go in and claim your space with your name, okay? And then you'll start seeing some results. But just recognize the fact that you might be battling with those brokers that have already claimed that address, so to speak. Okay. So anyway, search term growth. This is the other part. This is an interesting statistic, you guys, is that 92% of growth in search, and this is 2018 from 2017 to 2018, that there was a 92% growth. And this is right from Google statistics, you guys, in the search for the term best real estate agent. Okay, so that is a term that is getting lots and lots, and it's growing. growing very fast. I mean, it almost doubled from year to year from 2017 to 2018. Another one from Google statistics was it was a 61% growth in the term, search term, keyword, homes for sale near me. Okay. So those are the reasons why, you guys, you want to make sure you claim that space. And the other part of it is part of your keyword structure. You want to make sure that you're keeping the geographies that you are associated with, where you want to, where you're trying to farm and where you're really trying to develop your business, that's part of the keyword structure of the information that you're putting into that space. Okay, in your descriptions, into the services that you provide, all of those things you need to make sure that you're associating with not just what you do, but where you do it and who you do it for. That's really the best way to look at this. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense, you guys. I'm sure it is. So let's move on. Those are the reasons why Google My Business. So let's just real quickly talk about how to set up your Google My Business account. Okay. First of all, when you do that, what I always suggest you guys is that use a Gmail account, because it makes it real easy for Google to identify who you are, because you've got a lot of information about that you've already given them when you set up that Gmail account. I would also, if you don't have a Gmail account, I'd go ahead and grab one. Okay, and if it helps you, make it one that's associated with your business. Okay, so anyway, what they're going to do is that they're going to go in and they're going to say, so what are you trying to set up? And if that name exists, then you need to say, no, you need to tell Google this is a different business. Okay. But what you're going to plug in is the name of your business and the address. Those are the two basics that Google's going to ask you for right up front. So let's stop there for just a moment. Let's talk about the fact that, first of all, your name needs to be the name that you want associated with your business. Okay? Now that sounds simple enough, but and here's my suggestion. If you have a name like mine, Dave Redabaugh, there's not a whole lot of us around, you guys, quite honestly. I don't know if another one exists. I haven't found them anyway. But bottom line is, that's a pretty unique name. So there's very few of us. So I can put in Dave Redabaugh, and that's probably good enough. But if your name is something like John Smith, then guess what? You need to put a little more information in there. So the name of your business needs to be something like John Smith, Realtor, or real estate agent, or real estate, John Smith Homes, something associated with what it is that you do. And even, especially with something like John Smith, because it's so, there's so many, then I would even put something like, the town name, or Virginia at least, but put some kind of geographic attachment to it. So homes in real estate in Chantilly, or homes in Virginia, or real estate in Virginia, that type of thing. So that is the thing you want to do, though, when you claim this, is claim the name of your business. And if you have created a unique name for your business, then use that unique name. In other words, if it's not your name, my suggestion is even if you've done that, the name of your business is Chantilly Homes, or whatever it is, something like that, then I would still go in and claim your name and add it as a location to that business type name, because people aren't necessarily going to be looking for Chantilly Homes as the name of a business as much as they are if they're being referred to you as they're looking for you specifically. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure it does. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. So that's the name. The address part. Here's the other part you need to make a decision on. Okay. A lot of you, and I'm not necessarily going to suggest what is the right way. Some of you work directly out of your home, and that's great. I would put in your home address, because you can tell Google, I don't serve people at my home. I serve people outside of my home. I go to them. So you tell Google that, and they're not going to publish your address. They're not going to put your physical address out there. They'll put a little bubble on the map that's close to it, and it'll associate it with the town name, but they're not going to put it on your exact address, and they're not going to give your exact address. But some of you may choose to go ahead and use your broker's address, that office that you work out of. Put that address in and claim it that way. Okay, so anyway, didn't want to spend too much time on that, but that is what you do. Second part, specify service areas. That's the next thing Google's going to ask you to do, is to specify the areas that you serve. You have two options here. One, you can do it with the radius, or you can do it with the areas that you serve, okay? Next thing, type of business. When you're claiming this, you guys, I would say you want to go in and just put in real estate, and it'll give you some options. Google gives you descriptions that they have, okay? But later on, you can add more descriptions in the type of business that you are. For instance, the fact that you serve people that are looking to buy a home, the fact that you help people sell their home, the fact that you work with investors, that you do military relocation, whatever those areas of your business, you can use those as business descriptions to more fully fill out that information. And again, this is helping with the search engine optimization, you guys. This is giving Google a lot more information about who you are, how you do business, who you do business with, and where you do business, okay? So anyway, the next part, phone number and website, that's information that you can that you'll plug in. There's more contact, and there is more contact information that you can add later. You can add links to your Facebook page, or links to your Twitter account, or links to whatever, those types of things. Then the last step is to verify your listing, okay? Now, it used to be that you had to do that first time in, you had to do it with a postcard. You don't necessarily have to do that, you guys. I just did a Google My Business account for somebody this week, and literally what we were able to do is we were able to get it done immediately, where they had their cell phone number was in there. I said, wait for the text. Boom, Google said, verify the listing, sent a verification code directly to the person's text or to their phone. While we were on the phone together, I was able to plug it in, and boom, we were done. So anyway, they've made this a lot quicker and a lot easier, because I think they really Google wants to use this space. And part of it, you guys, the one thing that they're hoping is that when you see how valuable this is for your business, that maybe you'll buy some ads from them. That's kind of where they're going as far as what's in it for them, okay? But the main thing is that it's about driving the purpose of their business, connecting good information and relevant information to the consumers that are looking for it. So anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about optimizing your Google My Business account. Those of you and there's a number of you, as I look at the list of people that are on this call, most of you have been with me on the calls where I've talked about your internet profile. This is the business description here, you guys. Now, the one thing that I would tell you about the Google My Business description, it needs to be keyword rich, okay? Again, let's go back to it, real simple. Who you are, who you do business with, where you do business, those are the things that you want to focus in on when you're getting into this. But the one thing that you need to know about this business description here is probably the one that you put on LinkedIn, or the one that maybe you put in the about section of your Facebook business page, or the one you put on your real estate, your website. Those are going to be a lot longer than 750 characters. So you're going to have to take that thing in a Word document, do some editing, make sure it's impactful, but get the best 750 characters, not words, 750 characters to focus on describing you as relevant to the search, okay? Again, who you are, who you work with, how you do business with them, and where you do business, okay? So the next thing to know, you guys, is that you can post on your Google My Business. So again, this is more for those people that have already claimed this space. This adds some additional information for what maybe you did or did not know on there. You can post there, you guys. You can put things like, describing events, updates, new information. This is a home that I've just recently listed. Here's some information about it. And that posting, that can be about 300 words. So if you're somebody who blogs, somebody who does a newsletter, any of that kind of information can be posted on your Google My Business space. All right. Here's another one, you guys. This is so incredible. It's the Q&A. They actually have a place where people can ask questions and you can give answers to them right there on that Google My Business space. I'm going to show you some of these things here in a second. Okay. Now you can't see this. You can't go in and in your Google My Business space, put in a question and then provide an answer for it. You can't do that, but you can have some friends of yours do that. You can have a friend type in a question to your to your business, and then you can answer it to get things started, to get things rolling. But what a powerful place this is, you guys, to just have that kind of, and what I mean by that is the power of it is the fact that you have interaction with folks. And if you've got a number of questions that are being answered there, people are going to recognize, oh, okay, this is somebody that's responding. So if, you know, and let's just walk through this just real quickly for a moment. You were referred, they picked up their phone, they Googled your name, they found your Google My Business, and they scrolled down to check out who you are, what you say about yourself, you know, what the information is. There's the website, there's your phone number. Oh, okay, that's great. Oh, look at the Google reviews, awesome. Then they see this thing about questions. They go, wow, this is somebody who's pretty active here. You know, the bottom line is, you guys, is this gives you an automatic connection with those people that are looking for you. Okay, so anyway, so Q&A, powerful piece. The next thing is Google's actually created this opportunity where you can book an appointment. Now, that doesn't show up on your Google My Business unless you take the time to fill it in. So this is part of this whole platform, if you will, where you have to go in and fill out all the information that shows up on Google My Business. But it's a really great tool. Again, book an appointment. The next thing is images and videos. Okay, these make the user experience worth coming back for, as I stayed in there. And that really is a key part, you guys, is that you can put pictures, you can load this up with video, you can put lots of really, really good information in there that's going to enrich the experience of the person that's spending the time looking for you. Okay, that's really what it's all about. All right, so those are some of the things that you can do in this space. Let's see here, let's move on. We're going to talk about Google reviews, then I'm going to jump off this for just a second, you guys, and move over to the I'm going to move over to the what a Google My Business space looks like. Okay, so anyway, Google reviews. And this is the thing, you know, like I said, you guys, they really have become the very best review. Google has become the best review site on the internet. So those of you that are focusing all your attention on getting reviews on Zillow, I would keep doing that, but you know what? I'd definitely be paying some attention to those, making sure that you're building up your Google reviews because of what it says here. Reviews have become the #1 source for inspiring consumer trust. Number one, I think the fact that we understand that reviews, wherever they are, whether they're on Facebook or, you know, Google or Zillow or wherever that review is taking place, Yelp, okay, you need to claim all those spots. But the bottom line is, people, we all are getting to where we depend on that. You know, that's a really important part of our looking for information and feeling comfortable about information and trusting the information that we're seeing is reviews. Okay, so anyway, so this is the other part then, is like it says here, Google is the review site of choice. 63.6% of consumers say they will check online reviews on Google before visiting a business, more than any other review site. So the fact that people use that, and a lot of times that may be one of the most important features that they have, that when that Google My Business comes up and your name comes up for that referral or that recommendation, and they go, oh wow, they've got Google reviews and they've done really well. Okay, that can solidify the sale. That one piece of information can make people feel comfortable about it. And let me give you an example. I'm going to show you real quickly a business that I helped them with their Google My Business. It's been probably 3.5 years ago, maybe even longer. But anyway, they are a business that has taken advantage of this. So let me do a little switcheroo here, you guys, and change my share to the screen over here. Okay. So first of all, let me ask you, Cindy, you guys can now see the internet, right? Why don't you unmute yourself real quickly, Cindy?
Yes, sirree, we can.
Awesome, good. So you see Casey's Automotive, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here we go. This is like I said, this is a business that I helped them with this space back some time ago. Here's basically where they're at with this, you guys, is that, so someone's looking for Casey's Automotive in Chantilly. And I will tell you, the gentleman that I worked with on this has just grabbed this thing and run with it, as you can tell. Now, let me ask you, if someone told you that you were having a car problem and they said, you know what, you need to Casey's, they've done a really good job for me, you might need to just go check them out. So you said, okay, you went through this process and you typed in Casey's Automotive and you plugged it in there, and all of a sudden you go, oh my goodness, you saw that they have 176 Google reviews and a 4.9. Do you need any more information? I mean, quite honestly, I mean, you could go check out their website. It would make some sense. You probably want to do that because you can see what else they do. But honestly, you guys, is there much else that you would really want to mess with? Okay. But now that we're here, let's talk about some of those other things that you can do here. They've got a button here where you can request a quote. Now, that is also the one where what would show up if you have to set yours up for a request an appointment, that's where it would show up. So that's where this appointment part shows up. So it gives you the rest of this information. Let's kind of scroll through it, take a look at it. So the other thing that's interesting, you guys, is people can I can put pictures on here. You know, we can add our pictures to a site. So you see that happening a lot with, you know, restaurants, where people will go to a restaurant and they'll take a picture of them and their family eating there or whatever. And they post it on their restaurant's, you know, Google My Business space. So, and restaurants love that kind of information. But let's scroll on down. Here's the other thing that I wanted to show you. Know this place, answer quick question. Oh no, that is actually for you to tell Google more information about it. But this is the Q&A. Now, not a lot of people have done anything with this yet, and my guess is, and that's something I probably need to talk to Brian about, is, hey, dude, you might want to check this out a little bit, put a little bit more in there. But the bottom line is, this is this Q&A part that I was talking about, where someone could come in and ask a question. They get a notification on that Gmail account where they have this set up, and now they can have an interaction with those people automatically. Okay. The other thing that Google will do is they will pick up reviews from other sites where you're associated. Okay, on Facebook, on Carfax, on Angie's List, wherever, you know, if yours on Zillow, that it will actually, Google will pick that stuff up and go, okay, well, yeah, they're on Zillow and they have reviews there. Let's put them in. Okay. But anyway, and look at this, you know, they've got all the reviews, they've got all this information. They could put pictures in there, tons of pictures. From Casey's Automotive, those are the kinds of things where you would put your post up. So you could put up a post of, like I said, 300 words announcing, you know, this is something that's going on. This is an open house that I have, or this is a brand new listing that I've just gotten, whatever that information may be, you guys. But this is a place for you to kind of, you know, flag information. Hey, you know, here's information that could be of benefit to you. So you have somebody that's being referred to you because you're the best realtor in Chantilly, for instance. This is in Chantilly, and they're able to see, oh, okay, wow, yeah, they've got a house. This looks like something we may want to take a look at, honey, right? So that's kind of how this works, you guys. It's a really, really powerful space. So anyway, now, and let's go back up to this again real quickly, you guys. The other thing about this is to recognize this Google reviews. There is a quick little, and I'll show you here. This is mine. And there is one of the things that you want to make sure is you claim a short name. Okay. The other thing is that from here, you can also get a link that will show you, that will take you directly to, and I apologize, I'm not finding it on this one real quickly, you guys. So, but Google will create a link. In fact, I shared this with Cindy recently for hers, but where it's a real simple link. It takes people directly to, not to this page that you're looking at, but it would take you directly to a page that would say, this is how to review Casey's Automotive. So it would open up and say, how many stars do you want to give them? Tell us why you like this place or don't like it or whatever, you know. The other thing that I would tell you about reviews, you guys, since we are talking about this, is I want to mention to you that every single review that you get, you need to respond to, no matter where it is. Google, Facebook, Zillow, doesn't make any difference. Every single review, take the time to respond to it. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't make any difference. If someone's taken the time to go into that space on the internet and say something about your business, you need to respond to it. And if by chance, I don't think this is going to happen because I know you guys are all awesome. Oh, Susan, let me get to your question here in a second. Here's the thing though, you guys, is that you want to make sure that you respond, because even if if it would happen to be a negative one, it's even more important that you respond to those. Stay professional. You never get into any kind of an emotional contest with these folks at all, because sometimes people get emotional and heated with these, if they give a bad review. The bottom line is you want to make sure that you respond to those. Sometimes what I've found, and this has been my experience from working with businesses and helping them put this space together, that sometimes if they get a negative review and they respond appropriately, professionally, with kindness, with humility, with professionalism, that a lot of times, sometimes those people will go ahead and take that review off, and they have the ability to do that. So anyway, it's worth mentioning. All right, so let me address this question here. Stay tuned until the very end of this webinar for a challenge to put your practice in play. Okay, all right, we'll get off that for a second, Cindy. I'll let you take the control. But here's the thing that I would tell you guys. Let me move off of this real quickly. And no, let me go ahead and answer Susan's question. Susan asked, claim a short name. She wasn't sure what that meant. And shame on me. You guys are looking at my business, and I have not done that yet. But so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. There it is. Boom. I just claimed my short name. And I'll show you what it does. This is the link that I was telling you about. This link right here, you guys, says click to copy this link. What that link is going to do, so Susan, when you claim that, okay, what you do is you grab this link, and I'd save it someplace, okay? But what that link is that's the link that when someone goes to, you take them to that link. You've just had a valuable experience with somebody. You help them buy their new home, okay? And they're real excited, and they love you as they always would. But the bottom line is then what you do is one of the follow-ups that you can have is an email saying, hey, thank you very much for your business. I love you. This is awesome. Can't wait till the next time. Here's a link. If you would, please take a moment and review my business. This is the link that will take them to your review space, okay? So that's what I'm talking about, guys. Good stuff, huh? Yeah, love it. So we're going to stop sharing here. Going to do a new share. Going to go to over here. Going to move all these group chats and everything out of the way for just a moment, guys, and get to our last slide. That is, thank you for attending today. So go get your business right with Google. Not just get it on it, get it right. Get all that stuff, claim your short name, put some posts up, put some information in there. I will tell you, one of the things that I wanted to quote real quickly, you guys, from this article that I read in Inman News. I'm going to get over to where they actually have the quotes. That Inman News feels like this is going to become more important to real estate agents, this space. I don't necessarily agree with everything that they're saying, but this article basically talks about how they believe that this space could become more important to a real estate agent than their website, than their Facebook page, even for stuff that they have on like Zillow and the other real estate sites that, are kind of you're competing with for attention. But the bottom line is, you guys, is that Inman News sees this as one of the most important internet spaces that a real estate agent can make sure that they're on. So don't just be on it. Make sure you've done everything that you can to build this out. Oh, good. Okay, good, you guys. Wait a second. Question, what is the address? Maybe I need a little more information on that one. You mean the address that you would put into? I see that question on there. The address that, what is the address to get started? Good, okay, good. That address is gonna be, you might have missed this part of it early on, but if on the address, you can choose either the broker that you work, the agency where you work, the address of that Remax office or Keller Williams or whoever you work with, or whoever that broker is. You can claim that address with your name, okay? And I'll tell you how I know this stuff, because the bottom line is, and I've not done this for a bunch of businesses, you guys. One of them I recently did was a law firm in Colorado, and basically they have 4 different spaces that I claimed at that exact same address. One of them is Dixon Law Group. The other one is each one of those individual lawyers, Ryan Gelman and Christine Solomon and Joe O'Keefe. So that's what that is. So that's what the address is you can claim that space with your name as the business at that address. Okay. So by the way, here's what are they asking is where do you go?
Dave, I think they're asking, where do you actually go to actually start the process of filling out, of starting on a Google My Business platform so it starts showing up?
Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and take that because there may be a number of you. Oh, okay, good. All right, good. Thank you for clarifying that. Let me go ahead and go back to the internet, you guys. Let's go back there. So, and I will move some of these things out of the way again so you can see. Cindy, you can see the Google, right?
Yeah, I can. And I also, Jane's question of what do you do if you change the brokerage company? We just change the address.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So you have, Jane, you have the opportunity, and I apologize, I missed that question. You have the opportunity to make changes to any of those things, you know. You can, believe it or not, actually change the name of your business. So if that would be important to you, but you could do that. You can change any of those things in there. You don't want to do it too frequently though, because you don't want to mess with Google's stuff, what they have on you. So, and what history they may have about you. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this. Here's the best way to get this, you guys. It's really simple actually. So you just go to Google My Business. Okay. Now, if you've not been on this space, it's gonna when you go to sign in, it may be that that's where you have to create an account. Okay. Now I've already got one. Okay. But if you have not claimed that, this is where you start, is at this site called google.com. Let's take a look at it up here. google.com/business. Okay. This takes you to the exact space where you are. So, so I can go in and manage now, sign in, whatever. But the bottom line is, you guys, is that when you get in there, you probably wouldn't have sign in, but I think it's sign up, you know, or something like that. But, or if you go to sign in, it's going to actually have you fill out some information, put in your Gmail, put in a cell phone number. That's important to them as well, you guys, is that they have cell phone access to you. Okay. Because Google will text. They'll text verification codes, all kinds of information that could be important. They don't bug you. They're not going to be loading your cell phone up with text messages, but they will. It's important for that communication. Okay. Let's see. And that's basically it, you guys. So after you sign in, then you have access to go in and you can see I've got a number of accounts that I manage in this space, but the bottom line is that, you know, you go in and you go through the process to get verified, to make sure that your business is verified. And like I said at the beginning, this requires name and address. You put in the kind of business that you are. Okay. And again, the address can be, if you use your broker's address, you can claim that, or you can claim your own home address. In either situation, Google's not going to publish that information, make it public on your Google My Business space, unless you tell them that's what you want. Okay. Because one of the questions they'll say is, do people do business by coming to you or by you going to them? So you tell them, yep, I go to them, because that's what it is for all of you guys. Okay. So you go meet them. My ad was told that we are not allowed to advertise realtor. Marie, must use real estate agent or some such. Okay. Thank you for that, Marie. So she's saying she recently used the term realtor. And I'm guessing that what you're saying with that, Marie, is that when you used the term realtor, that was in addition to your name, Marie Meyer Realtor, right?
Dave, the problem is probably because you can't put a trademark in. You know, realtor is an NAR owned designation, basically not designation, but a term, a trademark. So if you can't put, like, you can't use it in a lot of ways, because if you can't identify it as that, then they have a cow over it. So even if you are a realtor, even if you are an NAR member, so why not the public doesn't know the difference. Believe me when I say they do not. So just use real estate agent, real estate broker, whatever. But a lot of it has to do, but you can always use, if you are an NAR member, you can always use realtor as long as you can put you can protect it with a trademark insignia that they require. So that's really what it boils down to. Okay, it's just like emails. Now you have to put you can only have your email name a very certain way if you're going to include anything to do with that in there, because they've set a lot of guidelines for that, which everybody can check with their broker and find out exactly what, because I'm not anybody's broker here. So
okay. Yep, exactly. Good. Okay, good. Hopefully this was helpful, you guys. I know it was hopefully it wasn't a drink with a fire hose. I know there was a lot of information I know that I threw out there, but this, like I said, this is a really important space. So Cindy, let me go ahead and turn this over to you. I think let me make sure I've answered all the questions. I believe I have. You've been watching the chat box too, so you would know.
Oh, I have been. I'm like a glue stick. All right, so let me just say this for anybody that, Dave is very generous and supports us in our coaching. Unless you're in a private coaching program, you don't get him one-on-one. However, you can pay for a service for actually to get this set up. And it's something we just came up with because it's an extension of our private coaching program. And so if you are interested in that, you need to email me directly and I will give you the parameters of that. Now, I have a challenge for you guys. Why don't you go to my Google, go put Cindy Bishop Worldwide in, and you'll see the business box to the right. I'd like you to ask me a question. While you're at it, give us a review. And let's see if we can start your process that way. And maybe I can talk Dave into a discount for that hour setup of the Google business. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, no, you bet. I would love to do that, you guys. I would love, because I know that the first time through this, you guys, you may have struggled with it some. I understand that. It was it was a struggle for me, but I've gotten really good at it because I've done a whole bunch of these now. So I absolutely can help people with this space and help them know what to do and how to make it effective. So
great. Well, I'll make sure if they come to me, I'll check out and make sure they did those two things. So at least they're getting a little bit more familiar with how to use it. And then I'll make them, I'll consult with you first, but I'll make them that offer and set those parameters on what they'll, like what you did for the automotive people.
Sure.
That's what they want, and they should want that. That's more important than anything else. I can't imagine if you're not on Google in a big way that you can actually have a productive business. Oh, Marie, Realtor for Life. Yeah, you can't use that unless you can get the trademark in behind Realtor. And Realtor is unnecessary. Real estate agent for life. Add something special, a specialty brand in there, so that they can recognize what all that means and it can stick in their brain. So anyway, that's it. So anyway, you can reach Dave through me. So don't hesitate to email. You can go to cindybishopcoaching@gmail.com and connect with us there. Or the school site has an email that a lot of people use, info@bishopteam.org. And that's it. All right, Dave.
Hey, Cindy, wait, before we move off, Denise has her hand up.
Okay, let's say, how about, Marie also said, how about Susan's slogan above?
Let's see
what Susan's slogan is. Wait a minute. Do you see, where is it? I don't see Susan.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of activity in here today. That's good.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. One new message. There it is. Okay.
I see very cool from Susan. Claim a short name.
Oh, Denise, do I need Google Suites? No. You don't. Not to have this space. You don't have to have that, Denise. So Google Suites, for those of you that don't know, Google Suites is it's another Google product, and basically it ties in with your Gmail account and with a number of other products that Google has. But yeah, that's not necessary for Google My Business. So but anyway, yeah, that's the answer. Good.
And Susan said she shouldn't have a slogan. So I don't know. I can't find it. Whatever Marie was talking. Marie, I can't tell what you were talking about. But that's okay. But yours was good enough, and so we got to discuss that, and that was good for everybody to hear.
Good. Oh, Dion has her.
Yeah. How you doing?
Hey.
Yes. Hi, Dion. Go ahead.
I don't have a proper website yet. Do I absolutely need a website in order to get started with Google My Business?
No, you don't. Now, my suggestion is you want to get a website, but you don't, in order to get that, in order to capture your Google My Business space, you don't need to have a website. So yeah, it's not necessary. Now Google will try to sell you one. If they know you don't have one, they'll try to sell you one. So for what it's worth.
What about Facebook, having a Facebook business page? Is that
necessary? You
I mean,
should
what I
have
mean-
one, but you don't
what-
need it to be on here.
Well, let's say if they don't have a website, and let's say that it's the fastest thing that they can do to create some kind of a semblance of presence.
Yeah.
Would that be adequate, or is that not even necessary?
What's that? The Facebook page or the
Business
Google My
page,
Business?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it could help you guys. It definitely would. But again, it's not going to reach your whole audience. So, my suggestion always is, Dion, is that you were, and I'm guessing that you probably are working towards getting a website, but you don't need it to get on Google My Business. But I would say, as a priority, if you don't have one, I would make sure that this one is one you take care of real quick, because it doesn't cost you anything other than some time and effort. And that's really the only cost associated with it, you guys, is the time and effort to get it set up and do it properly. So, okay.
That's true. But Dion, if you remind me when you send me an email after you do the review on Cindy Bishop Worldwide, I'll make sure that I let Dave know that, because he does websites, that would be something that you might want to consider, unless you want to use what I call a canned real estate website from one of the companies that make a lot of money on agents, which I've never been a big proponent of that. That's why I'm a WordPress girl. But that some people, it's better to have something that's kind of running than nothing. But that we have some better suggestions for that, I guess, is my point. Did we miss anybody's hand?
I don't think so. Yeah, we answered Denise's question. You answered Dion's question. Marie asked another question. She was a realtor to everyone, but it could be wrong. And again, Marie, the term there wouldn't be realtor. You want to take that term realtor out of any description, because that's that's basically what caused you to get bumped on that whole situation.
Well, and let's say trademark it, but the real point is the public doesn't understand real estate agent versus realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And really what needs to happen is if you say realtor to everyone, that's a branding issue. Realtor to everyone, who would respond to that? So it's got to be a lot more specific than that. It's got to be niche.
Yep. Yeah, niche it. That's the best way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Excellent, guys. Have a good one. And for those of you in coaching, this recording midweek will be in the Agent Education Center under coaching calls, so that you can listen to this until you're blue in the face. How's that?
Cool. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Appreciate it. Have a great week.